This bill passed the House with bipartisan support. So what's the holdup in the Senate?
Well, it seems that Leader Schumer doesn't want the Democrats to take a vote on this. Again, we had 37 Democrats in the House support this. So obviously we've got the support we need over there. Now we need some here. I think there would be some Democrats that support it. But we want this to be law. This is about preventing tragedies. I'm a father. I have 2 daughters. And again, my heart goes out to Laken Riley's father. We want that situation to never happen again. And had this been in law before, had Joe Biden done what he needed to have done, this would never have happened.
So this law would mandate that illegal immigrants be held in jail if they're arrested for any crime, no matter how minor?
Yeah, this is about minor infractions. They're already here illegally. They would have the due process that they need, but being here illegally is the first crime. And then it's the small crimes on top of that that tend to escalate over time. For instance, in Laken Riley's murder, we saw shoplifting. We saw endangering a child in New York. Had those been punished and had he been in jail, Laken Riley would be with us today.
Yeah, but it's a big jump from shoplifting and the endangering a child. That charge was he was riding on a moped with a minor who wasn't wearing a helmet. This bill would have somebody incarcerated even for offenses that minor indefinitely or until they're deported?
Well, they would have the due process, and then again, if there's need, there would be deportation. But you wouldn't need that for shoplifting. Of course, coming here illegally, there should be deportation. So remember, just by being here illegally, that's the problem to begin with.
Yeah. It is rare for anybody to graduate from shoplifting to murder, and studies across the country do show that illegal immigrants actually commit fewer crimes than native-born Americans. Democrats have actually accused Republicans of politicizing Laken Riley's murder. I'd like to give you a chance to respond to that.
No, again, I'm a father of 2 daughters. My heart goes out in this situation. We would never want to do that. But you see Laken Riley's father asking for legislators to act, and that's what we're doing. We want this to never happen to another family again, and had Joe Biden done this properly before, she would be with us today. So again, as a father, my heart goes out to him as a dad.
You tweeted recently when it comes to the border and the crisis that is unfolding down there. You commended your fellow Republican Senator James Lankford for his hard work over several months negotiating that latest border bill, but you said you would vote against it. The Border Patrol Union endorsed that bill and said it needs it now. So tell me why you're opposed.
Well, let's remember that in its current form, it does not have any border provisions. That was 310 pages out of 370 pages, so 60 was related to Ukraine and Taiwan and Israel support. So that's what's happening right now, and there's concerns with that on a standalone because all of those, if you look at them, are border issues. We think the most important border and the prioritized border is ours right here. If you look at the Border Patrol Union, and I've got great friends there, I've got great people I respect, and we're thankful for what they do 24/7 to defend with the tools that they've been given. However, that is a union, and they are there for the overtime hours, and so if they look at it like that, they want to protect their members. But when you look at the possibilities that we can do, if Joe Biden just undid the 94 things that he did since he's been in office in 2021, we wouldn't have these problems. We had the most secure border in 40 years in 2020. And had he just not done those 94 actions, we would be in a much better place right now.
I wanted to just get back to the Border Patrol Union, though. They're the guys down there, men and women down there on the border doing that hard work day in and day out. They said they needed that bill right now. They endorsed it. They also endorsed President Trump and still endorse and support President Trump. So it's not a partisan thing. They said we need this right now. I just need to know why doing nothing, in your opinion, is better than doing something that might be imperfect, but at least it's something.
Look, it was positive. What it did, it normalized a level of illegal activity that should never be normalized. The right number of illegal entries is 0. But I would say, look, we've got plenty of things that you can do without, and I'm standing in the Senate office building right now. Nothing needs to be done in the Senate or the House compared to what Joe Biden can do. Joe Biden can fix all of these things with executive actions. He could take it back to where he was in January 21, and we would be much safer.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.